allowed Asian logging companies to clear traditional land. But the fight is a long way from over, as Papua New Guinea correspondent Eric Torchek reports.
Paul Pavol's community and many others on the island of New Britain are being dramatically changed by logging. 6 years ago, the giant Malaysian forestry company Rimbunan Hijau, or RH, began clearing the area and planting oil palm.
The last 6 years, very terrible. They've cleared the forest already. They've replanted it with oil palm. They've constructed a mill. They built roads, infrastructures that can benefit themselves, the operation itself, and that's it.
Paul Pavol has been opposing the development, arranging public meetings and protests. He says the landowner companies which leased the forest to RH for 99 years did so fraudulently, using the signatures of dead people, children and those living outside the district on their approval forms.
It does not come in the right way. It contains fraud, forgery, misleading of information. There's big corruption in these such things. So we cannot just sit down.
Paul Pavol hasn't chosen an easy opponent. Rimbunan Hijau is one of the biggest companies operating in Papua New Guinea and no longer just works in the forestry sector. It owns a national newspaper, a transport company and just opened a $160 million hotel in Port Moresby. RH says its Pomio development, like its hotel, is a landmark investment that will bring hundreds of millions of dollars in benefits to communities and employ 4,000 people.
It is progressive, steadily progressive, and it is very positive because it is now changing and bringing change to that area.
Kanawi Portal is the former managing director of Papua New Guinea's Forest Authority. He's just audited the Pomio project for Rimbunan Hijau.
During the 1 month I was there working through with them, no one is standing up to say we don't want the project. They see now the change that is now happening, the physical change. It's not just talk.
Rimbunan Hijau says it complies with all laws and regulations committed by the landowner companies who leased it the land.
The lands department, for the landowners to answer, it's not for the investor. The investor's interest is that, did you have a title? Yes, here's the title. They looked at that, they are satisfied that, yeah, signed by the minister, stamp, confirm. They check with the lands department, yes, that is a title. And that's as far as they go. I don't think it's their duty to go down and do a due diligence on whether every landowner signed.
Do you all want SABL or no?
The landowner companies also deny the fraud allegations and say only as the leases.
There were some people who were anti-development, and even now, people are still anti-development. They do not want any change to the lives of people.
There are dozens of projects around PNG that conduct logging under a lease for agricultural development.
So about 8 years ago, the government of PNG handed out a series of very large agricultural leases, mostly to logging companies. Several of those were handed out in this area that we visited. The leases allow the companies to clear the forest and plant oil palm there. Many communities that we've interviewed tell us that they had no knowledge of the allocation of these leases, that they didn't consent to it, and many express frustration that they've been kept in the dark and now they're starting to feel the impacts of the loss of land.
Some landowners successfully opposed such logging in court. This project, one of Papua New Guinea's largest, has been found to be illegal. The court said its operators failed to get proper consent and imposed oppressive lease conditions on unwitting landowners. It's not an isolated case. The Commission of Inquiry into the so-called Special Agricultural Business Leases identified similar problems across the country. The Commission has found negligence by Papua New Guinea's Lands Department in checking landowner approvals and said, in some instances, landowners' signatures were forged. In another shocking instance, Signatures of miners and deceased clan members were procured. The Department of Lands didn't answer Lateline's questions about the fraud allegations. But Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister says he's told the department to cancel all of the leases. That should mean the logging must stop and that the companies must negotiate new agreements.
We have stated very clearly, cancel everything. They can go and reapply through the normal Land Act provisions that are there.
Is there any logging taking place now that that instruction has gone through?
Well, I hope not. We'll have to check with the forestry. We want the benefits of the land to go to the people.
Parliament has been slow to act, but land clearing could soon push more villages into Papua New Guinea's towns and cities.
The land is our mother, and before it was stolen, we were very rich. We had everything we needed. Our land provided us food, water, protein, building materials, medicines, beauty, warmth, and
that ends this program. Head to the ABC's World page for all the latest international news and join me on the World weeknights on ABC News 24. I'm Beverly O'Connor. Thanks so much for your company. Bye-bye.